Welcome to Sew Very Easy. My name is Laura, and I do enjoy collecting these 5-inch charm packs, but that means I'm going to need somewhere to store them. So let's make a quick and easy no-sew project to store our fabrics. These little charm packages are 5-inch square cut fabrics, so we're going to need a tray that they're going to fit into. So we're going to start with 5.5 inches. That gives us just enough room so that they can come in and out, but they're not going to flop around. The other thing we need to decide is how long this little basket is going to be. It can be a little square or it could be a long basket. My shelving unit is a total of 14 inches, so I'm going to make that box 14 inches by 5.5 inches. So you can start with that size or you can make the adjustments on your own. And we're not going to sew anything. We will be using some fabric, and we're also going to use foam board. And because we're not sewing, we're going to need some trusty old glue. Foam board is available in stores like Walmart, but it's also available in the dollar type stores. It is paper with a foam in the center, which means children's glue will work fine. A hot glue gun will not work because the glue will melt that foam. So I do want a container that all of these charm packs are going to fit into. So I'm going to start with a 5.5 inch measurement. My ends are going to be 5.5 inch squares. The base of the box is also going to be 5.5 inches. And this is where you can make it any length at all. And I have chosen 14 inches, which means the sides are going to need to match, but they need to be a little bit bigger. We will take those boards, we're going to glue them onto the end, which means we need a little bit extra of that thickness to go onto this side. So if this is 14 inches, you're going to add 14.25 inch. And you'll see more of how this is going to work as we go on. So the first thing we need to do is glue this together. So I'm going to use any child's white glue, and I find the liquid is definitely better than a glue stick. We're also going to need some pins. Just add a thick row of glue right along the bottom of that one piece. And slide those two together and match. Now they're not going to stay upright, so that's where some old pins are going to come in handy. Old pins will go right through that foam. So the pins do not need to go in all the way. We just want to hold those layers together. And I can see when all of the edges are matching. Now we need to do the second side. Same thing. Thick row of glue, line it up, and place some pins to hold it in. I will now be able to glue on these sides. And this is where that measurement is going to come in. So the measurement, we need to have that outside measurement. So we have that bottom measurement plus those outside walls. And we're going to put glue on 3 sides. Because the outside layers are paper, it really does stick quite well. But this is one time I do like to add just a little bit extra. I do want to add enough glue that the entire thing is sealed. Now, match up those edges and pin. Once that one side is done, I'm going to add the second. So I have all those sides pinned on. Now we're going to have goops of glue. So I'm just going to smooth that glue wherever it's sticking out. And the inside and the outsides. I just want a smooth surface. Now I can just let that dry. Once it's dried, what we want to do is reinforce the edges and the bottom. So we can very simply pull those pins out. And as you're pulling those pins out, hold those two layers together so the pins don't pull them apart. To reinforce these corners, we just need some strips of fabric. We can either put the glue on the box or the fabric. If you're going to put the glue on the box, we just need to spread that glue so it's an even surface. And then that little piece of fabric will get smoothed on and rolled over to the other side. We need to do that to the sides, a little bit to the bottom, and the bottom here. And then we need to let that dry. Because I wanted those edges really secure, I did let this dry overnight. Now we get to cover it with fabric. And we have lots of possibilities for the fabrics. We can do pieces of fabric and have them go all over, or one long piece. You could fussy cut pictures and put it on the sides. Anything is possible. I will be using this pretty little floral fabric. I'm going to glue it on the same as I did the side fabric. But I do want that fabric to wrap over just a little bit on the inside. I will be covering that raw edge with a piece of ribbon. So I want to make sure I have enough room. And for the bottom, we're just going to have that come right over. I will be gluing one side entirely. Spread it thin with this paintbrush, both a little bit on the bottom and around to that top. And then put the fabric on and keep going until all of the edges are covered. So have fun and glue on some fabric. I am going to cover the bottom. I do have some fabric left over, and I just like the way it's going to finish it off. So I'll glue the bottom on and let it dry. While I'm waiting for that glue to dry, I can do some decorating. I still need to put that trim inside, but on the outside, I went through my junk drawer and I found some little things that I could put on the end. I even found a zipper pull. You will need to glue this on, and the glue's not going to hold it as a handle, but it will look nice as decoration. Once that trim has been glued onto the inside, it really does give it a nice finished look. I did take some little yellow pins and cut them short and put them in for some feet. And I'm going to add a little tassel to the front just for decoration. So it gives it a nice finished look. Once again, we need to let this dry. Any glue that did come on the outside will just dry clear. So now we just need to wait and let it dry. It's all dried, and now my 5-inch packs fit in perfectly. And this is going to fit perfectly on my shelf because I made it to fit my shelf. Another addition we can make is take some of that scrap foam board and cut it to size. And that way it can fit right inside, and it's going to hold them in place. So we can put a couple in there just so when we need them, they're available. And if we don't have enough of those 5-inch packs, well, I have discovered that they will fit my rolls. So the customized box fits exactly what I, customized it for, plus a little bit more. The most difficult part was waiting overnight for the glue to dry. Now keep in mind that the glue is water soluble, so we cannot wash it and we cannot get it wet, but it'll be great for storage sitting on a desk or on a shelf. So what size boxes would you make, and what would you keep inside of them? Thank you for joining me today on Sew Very Easy. Feel free to subscribe, and as always, come on back. Let's see what we're making next time in the sewing room. Bye for now.